Welcome to my channel and enjoy this video.
Out on sports day. He asks Daniel because he hears that he is good at sports, and he tells him that he is not good at all. Jiho asks Prez about the relay. He answers that he doesn't know. He only trusted Zach for the relay race, but wonders why he has not been there recently. They have no runners because Zach has been absent from school for a few days. He asks Smart Daniel if he can run because he looks as fast as Zach. He dodges his punches, so they think he is swift. Smart Daniel says that he is not very good at sports. He screams and asks him what type of excuse he is making. He starts wondering if he is asking him for a relay because he has never thought of it since he never ran in his smart body. He remembers running 30 seconds in a 100-meter sprint last year, so they decide that Daniel Park will be the anchor. The second runner is Yui Kim, and the fourth runner is Daniel Park, but they still need to find out who the third runner will be. Jiahong raises his hand, and the students start whispering about what has gotten to him. They wonder if he is seriously saying it because they have never seen him move. They start questioning if he has been there. While he is announcing, it is decided that Daniel and Jiahong are for the relay and the girls, but suddenly, Zach comes inside the room. The students start staring at him, and Zach asks them which thing they are staring at and if they think his face looks funny. As Zach is going to sit on his seat, the students start greeting him because they have not seen him for a long time. Zach tells them not to talk to him, and Smart Daniel thinks Zach looks quite angry. Because Zach was in particular training, he decided to show Mira that he was better at sports than Daniel. During the sports day, DJ Rufy, a practical music senior, said that most seniors don't come because they are preparing for jobs, but they think that Rufy needs something to do. Rufy realizes that their department was the best when he was a freshman. He instructs the juniors not to tarnish their reputation. The juniors are the first-year students in the practical music department wearing the line characters' costumes. As they are all standing, they all agree. The girl wonders where the sophomores are, and the boy thinks that the Rufy is here. They bailed. They play soccer, which is a fashion in competition with practical music. Zach's goal, the scoreboard shows fashion point is 1 compared to music, which is 0. Zach impresses all the students. They wonder how many players he beat. He thinks Daniel has seen him as a soccer prodigy in elementary school. He tells Mira that he has scored. Mira is standing with Zoe and one other girl. They are fashion department freshmen wearing honeybee costumes. At the same time, a boy and Smart Daniel are playing with the football. The boy thinks he is gorgeous, so he tells Smart Daniel to show his talent to him. The boy went past 10 guys, including Daniel, who needed clarification because he had never played soccer. He wonders why he is here, but at the moment, he just got the ball. The girls are impressed by Daniel's smartness. Jace tells Vasco that he has the ball. On the other hand, the beauty department freshman, whose costume is an idol star, has 30 girls and 1 guy. The girl thinks Smart Daniel is correct, but while the other one concludes that Eli is better, he also looks great in shorts. While looking at Smart Daniel, Eli thinks he is absorbing, while the other vocal and dance department freshman, whose costume is of the military uniform, Vin Jin tells him to be honest that he is better looking than him. On the 10th sports day, they think he is handsome and wonder if his freshman knows that his fashion department and the whole school are looking at him. Smart Daniel is nervous as he thinks about what he should do because he did see people kicking the ball. He only remembers playing it at his old school when he hit his face. He wonders if he will pass or not, but he hopes that he will get past. He sees the opponent's goalpost and realizes he must go as far from him as possible. He wonders how to kick the ball, so he decides to kick it like me from the soccer team. He had already watched from close range a lot of times, especially when he kicked at him. He kicks the football, which did a goal, and they all make a loud, surprised noise. With a beep, it is announced that it is a goal. They were all surprised. The goalkeeper didn't see it because it was a long-distance shot. They all start appreciating him when he scores a goal, and the girls start wondering who he is. Smart Daniel felt like the school would erupt because of his goal. Jace and Vasco think that Smart Daniel is the best. Vasco asks Jace if they have not done arm wrestling. They both lost the soccer but think that they are still better. Jiho decides to be like him one day in his life. The baking department freshman, whose costume is Superman, and the baking department sophomore, whose costume is Iron Man, However, he is wearing a freshman costume for some reason. The baking department's sophomore thinks Smart Daniel is excellent, but Ho is also formidable. The freshman in the baking department yells at him and tells him to shut his mouth. He further asks him why he is wearing a freshman costume. On the other hand, when the guy sees Mira, he wonders if she is also on the soccer team. The second game starts, the tug of war between music and dance. They are old rivals as the game begins, pulling each other apart. The girls think that Bam is cute from the music department. The other girl asks her if he is the model for O clothing. They are pulling the rope to win the tug of war. It is announced that the victory is of the practical music department. Bam Kim Pirhik victory. The next is the tug of war between fashion and architecture. The members of the fashion department have already started wondering how they will win because the opponents are monsters, and it is already over for them. It can be seen that the fashion department gives up before they even start. Zach thinks that he has scared Smart Daniel, and as he sees the architecture of Vasco, he is surprised. Vasco calls Smart Daniel and tells him to listen to him carefully. Jace asks him about their costume. All of them were amazed to see Vasco's costume. Jace asks him if he likes the costume or not. He thanked Jace for the lovely costume, but all the other students felt ashamed to look at his costume. The architecture department's first-year costume is the dinosaur's fake balloon legs. Their legs are in the dinosaur legs, and Daniel thinks it is embarrassing. Vasco asks Daniel for a tug of war, only he and him, one-on-one, to see who is the strongest. Smart Daniel is shocked to hear this and wonders what he is saying that he and Vasco are one-on-one. Smart Daniel is thinking about why he is challenging him head-to-head a tug of war. Vasco believes that the shot of Smart Daniel was super powerful, but he wants a head-to-head match with a trained body like him, so he just confirms it. As the game starts and both pull the rope, Vasco thinks it can't be Daniel because he is not budging. Daniel finds it very easy. However, Vasco decides not to lose. He is pulling the rope with all his force by his well-trained body. The pole fell off the ground, and Vasco fell on the ground. The students mutter that the fashion department is disqualified because someone tied the rope to the pole. Some of them already were in doubt that something was suspicious. He even pulls out the basketball hoop, and Zach thinks that no one can still beat him, though he is a criminal. But he beats him before Mira. The students wonder who did that. Vasco is lying on the ground, and Vin Jin thinks about what is going on with them. He stares at him and suddenly side kicks him. He calls him an ugly mug and says he is always in the way. The next game is to break the ground, which is basically between practical music and architecture. So they are told to break them as fast as possible, and they throw on them because they can't lose. They see it is nearly open, concluding they can't lose and must throw firmly. They wonder why the architecture team is not throwing at the ball, or if they are trying to mock them. They see it is not because Vasco will throw the rock at the gourd to break it. As soon as he throws it, the gourd breaks, and it is announced that the architecture department broke their gourd in a single try. It seems nearly impossible, but it is accurate, and with that, the architecture team's win is announced. Now, the next game is between fashion versus vocal and dance. Daniel is brilliant after looking at Vasco's win, thinks he is solid, and wonders how he made it practically possible. Vin Jin says they are hideous, while Zach decides to break them. As soon as he throws the rock on the gourd, it doesn't break from it, but it is close enough. He appreciates that it is a solid try for him. Zach glances at Daniel as he thinks if he has seen it and further concludes Mira is all his. Next is the turn of Smart Daniel, who, in one toss, smashed the gourd. They all wonder how it is possible for him and get impressed. Daniel is thinking about what is with his body because he did it so quickly with the help of that body. Mira sees Zach, who is upset about Smart Daniel's victory. Vin Jin thinks if he thinks he is unique, he sees him because he is not enjoying today. He slams his face and falls on the ground due to his smacking. He tells him not to get on his nerves by going down. Duke asks Vin Jin if he is doing it with him. Vin Jin, after hearing him ask if he thinks he has done something wrong, he smiles and grabs him from his hair, making him follow them. If misunderstood, he clears from his mind that he has not become something big after the festival. They find an empty place so that they can beat him. He punches him in the face. He tells him that looking at him makes him nauseous. Duke is staggering. The blood flows from his nose. Vin Jin asks him if he can't disappear because he wants to pound him. Duke tells him that he has not even done anything wrong. Vin Jin stares at him suddenly, and Duke punches him. Vin Jin asks him what he just recently did to him, while his other companions also shocked to see him punching him. He repeats his words again and tells him that he has not done anything wrong. But once again, he got hit by Vin Jin while he was about to fall on the floor. He was reminded that his grandma would be sad over the fact if he went around beaten up. Duke tries to punch him again, but Vin Jin grabs his hand so he can't punch him. He kicks him and once again continues beating him up. He tells him that his face is what he did wrong. Duke is bleeding from his face, and he tells him that he should end it now. Though Duke is badly injured and trembling, he still repeats his words that he did nothing wrong. Vin Jin once again tries to punch him, and Duke, in return, also punches him. But when he opens his eyes, he sees that he mistakenly punched Vasco. Vin Jin and his two other friends are shocked to see Vasco. He turns around towards Duke and appreciates his calmness. He takes his shirt off and tells Vin Jin that he likes him. Vin Jin smirks and asks who has come to meet him and calls Vasco a fool from the construction department after seeing him. Vasco tells him that he will beat him. Moreover, he is not a fool. He orders him to take off his glasses, but Vin Jin refuses. He further grabs his collar and says that because he always walked away whenever he told him to take off his glasses, it does not make him a pushover. His friends smile and think he is doing very well. They think he is as fast as Zack. He enables his lightning-quick judo speed as there are a lot of opponent bodies. He uses his leg sweep and kicks Vin Jin. It makes for an obvious outcome. When he tries to make him fall, he cannot. He notices that Vasco does not even budge. Vasco grabs his collar and starts squeezing him. He thinks he is a monster because he is withstanding by force. Vasco warns him that he will take off his glasses if he doesn't himself. As he is about to take them off, Vin Jin slaps him. He thinks that though he is a monster, he can wipe him out before he uses his force. He realizes his advantage lies in his judo skills and wonders what he will do next. He grabs Vin Jin from his collar and throws him on the ground, using only one hand. He makes a one-handed flip, and his friend Vin Jin says it is unfair to do this. They realize he has a scary physique because technique proved nothing in front of his vital skill. His glasses also fell apart. He put his hands on his eyes and started screaming to give his glasses immediately. He tells him not to look at him. If he does, he will die. He asks his friends to get his glasses back to him soon. He realizes it is not yet over, and suddenly, Duke greets and thanks him for helping him. Vasco tells him that there is no need to thank him and appreciate that he is very cool. Duke questions him if he thinks that one day he can also become as strong as Vasco Company after listening. I get a flashback of the time when he asked a man how he became strong. He instructs him to start with 100 pull-ups, then 100 push-ups, and 100 squats with a 10-kilometer run daily. While at school, on the 10th sports day, the last event is the relay race, and the girls cheer them up. Some are cheering for Smart Daniel, while others are cheering for Eli. Smart Daniel, the anchor in the last position, is standing with Ho Jiang. A man tells him he is the best looking, and he gets aggressive and asks him to shut his mouth. Smart Daniel wonders why he is running at last, but is very confused. In addition to that, he is more nervous about the fact that Zack is also there. He wonders why he is standing there and finds he is running from another class. Students call Zack a traitor, and they make noise that he is a traitor. Mira also wonders why Zack is there at the race. After seeing him, Jace also wonders why he is running for another class. The man standing next to Jace informs him that because the beauty department has only one guy, he just offered to help them. Still, Jace doesn't understand the purpose of Zack doing that. He asks the other man, who also doesn't know the actual reason. Students think he is a spy and a traitor, but Zack doesn't care what they think about them. He decides to take care of Smart Daniel in front of Mira. They realize that the third runners are coming, and the students see they are both swift and even look like they are flying. Eli is from the beauty department, and the other boy is from the fashion department. The commentators ask for the boy's name, as they forget that Eli is from a competition. They wonder why his bangs are not moving. Both boys pass the baton to the anchors. They conclude that it is almost a dead heat. Jae-hong handed it over to Smart Daniel, who thanked him in return. Smart Daniel starts thinking about whether he can do it with his current body. He concludes that he can do it and speeds up more. Jace and the others are surprised to see him run so fast. They think there are two Zacks, and Zack decides not to lose this time because Mira is watching him, so he will not let it happen again. They are both running so fast that is crazy. The students noticed his superb speed and wondered what his record would be. On the other hand, Zack also never loses. They are both pros. He realizes that because Mira is watching, he can't lose again. He remembers the time when they used to be kids. Mira held a teddy in her hands, and she told him it was his best friend. Mira tells him that he should say hi to his teddy, whose name is Brownie. Zack thinks she is acting childish. He asks him if the teddy is his best friend rather than what's about him. He saw the teddy falling to the ground, but immediately rushed towards it and caught it. He asks her why she is throwing her teddy on the ground, as she just told him it is her best friend. He sees Mira fall to the ground, and the doctor appreciates him because he was lucky enough to dash and catch her. He even carried his friend, and Zack asked him about Mira and if she would be okay. He informs him that her appendix burst, but she is fine now, and he did so well that he ran to her. Mira thanked and appreciated him, saying he was amazing. However, he was constipated. She asks Zack if he is crying, but he tells her that he is not crying, it is just sweat. While running, Zack realizes he can't lose when running. The students recognize that Zack is pulling ahead, and smart Daniel concludes that he is fantastic. Though his body is light, Zack is still excellent. While running, Zack reminds himself that he won't lose and will not allow himself to lose. He sees the finish line in front of him. Zack has not worked out after graduating from middle school. Smart Daniel speeds up and reaches the winning line. He ran out of stamina. Zack remembers Mira when he appreciates him, saying that he is fantastic. He sits on the ground and realizes that he lost. On that day, no one knew about their record within a plus of 1.2, a wind speed of 10.98 seconds, and an elevation of 0 seconds. They both were like pros. They concluded that it was an incredible performance. Because the track was old and Zack had not trained for a long time, he had an unfortunate fate. He ran against Daniel, the man with the mysterious body. The students start wondering if Zack isn't fast enough compared to Daniel. The natural talents of a kid couldn't outweigh his incredible body, but no one even realized it. It has been announced that the next talent show will be about practical music and fashion debt. Smart Daniel and Duke. Smart Daniel looks at Duke and realizes that his face is swollen. He wonders if he is hurt. Duke asks Daniel to start. At that time, he realizes that Duke is always challenging and wonders if he is worrying over nothing. Duke starts to sing, and the audience begins muttering about him. One asks about him, while the other tells him he is the same guy from the festival. They cheer him up, and Vin Jin is surprised to hear him. He wonders if they have been overcome by the situation that was before. On the other hand, Zack is sitting alone on the stairs, wondering how Daniel can do it. Further, he thinks he is a robot, but after all, he got beat up in a race before Mira. Mira comes there and asks him why he is sitting there all alone. He turns around and sees Daniel also standing with Mira. She sees Zack sitting there all alone. Smart Daniel informs him that they are going to an after party, but they can't find him as he is also not hearing his phone. After seeing Smart Daniel, Zack wonders why he is standing with Mira. He thinks he is a loser and has failed as a man, which is why Daniel is standing with her. Mira smiles and questions him about his phone, as he is not answering, and his phone is turned off. He says thank you to them, refuses to go further, and asks them to leave him alone. While he sees Mira smiling, he thinks she can make fun of him because he is garbage and a complete waste of space. Mira's phone is about to fall to the ground, Zack notices. Immediately, Smart Daniel tries to catch it, but he misses. Zack successfully catches the phone. He yells at her while grabbing her phone and asks if she can't be more careful. She reminds him that he again catches it like he did it once before. He saved her brownie, hanging from her phone like last time. She thanked him and complimented him, saying that he was amazing. She tells him that what she told him before wasn't because he ran to the hospital. Zack rises and looks at Smart Daniel while abusing him. He asks him why he can't catch anything. He further says he is pathetic and wonders if he is a real man. Smart Daniel realizes it looks like Mira intentionally threw her phone towards Zack. Mira smiles and asks him to go to the after party with her again. Zack agrees and tells her to let go. Mira requests that he wait because he doesn't know where they are going. After the sports day finished, they went to tasty ribs and noodles. Mira was eating garlic with her chopsticks, but suddenly, it was about to fall, and Zach caught it. Mira was again impressed, and everyone noticed that Zach was seeing everything. Mira told him to stop, and from that day on, Zach caught everything that fell. On a rainy night, Zach is holding the umbrella for Mira. She thanks him for coming with him. She was afraid to go alone to the school. Zach says her forgetting her phone in the classroom was clumsy. She gave her a favor and once again thanked him for coming. Zach thinks that it is sort of scary because they are going towards the classroom in the school. She asks him if he is not afraid of ghosts, but he tells her he is not scared of them. In reality, he is getting afraid and repeating the names of God so that he remains safe. He says that the school is freaky and tells her to trust him. Suddenly, Jace and Vasco appear before them, and they both get scared by looking at them. Jace, while holding the umbrella, saw Zach with that girl. Mira sees the architectural guys, who ask them why they are scared to see them. Mira tells them that because they both appeared in front of them, suddenly, they were frightened. She asks Zach if he is not scared of them. When she sees him fit and sound, she gets impressed, thinking he is less and has no fear. But Zach, who is hiding that his heart is about to stop, tells them that Mira got scared because of those guys. They both say that they were not thinking to scare them on purpose. They were just scared of them. He asks why they are coming to school at this hour. Vasco informs them that they came to meet the child's mother, and Zach is surprised to hear of the child's mother. He asks Mira about that, and she asks him if he doesn't know about the picture ghost in the storage. She explains to him that there is an old storage room at the end of the hallway, and it is said that the photo of her is there. It is the story of a woman who married into a wealthy family and, on a rainy day, was expelled after giving birth. On rainy days, it is said that she roams the halls looking for her child. If someone other than her child meets her, she kills them because she thinks that the person took her child away from her. If someone wants to live, he has to cry like a baby. There is a second option, too, to offer her a doll. She will then say thank you and vanish. Vasco further tells him that if someone gives a doll to her, she will allow one wish for them. Jace thinks it is very calm and asks him what he wants. However, Jace doesn't believe in ghosts. He just comes to accompany Vasco while crying. As tears fall from their eyes of Vasco, he tells them about his wish, which is for the people to stop calling him a fool. He wonders what foolish Vasco is doing there, and Zach laughs. In reality, Zach is pretending to be strong, but is scared of ghosts. He says to them that there is no such thing. They tell him that there is a ghost, but he refuses to accept it. He calls him a fool and once again says there are no ghosts. Jace hands him a red pen and dares him to go and sign his name on the frame. Because he is laughing at Vasco, Jace thinks there is nothing for him to be scared of. He takes the pen from him, questions the person who has told him he is afraid of it, and starts heading towards the storage room. While inside the storage room, he realizes that it is very horror and terrifying as he heads towards it alone. He reached inside the storage room, and because of Mira, he couldn't refuse to accept the challenge. There is so much darkness inside the room that he can't see anything. He tries to turn the lights on but realizes they won't turn on. He wonders if the power is out. He finds the picture and decides to write and leave that place. He remembers that Jace told him to write his name, and in addition to that, he gave him a red pen. Writing the name with a red pen symbolizes terrible luck. He is about to write his name, but suddenly, he sees the picture and realizes he has made eye contact with it. He stares, making the sound of a baby that he was told, and makes a flailing sign. He feels that the face he just saw looks freaking scary, so it's better to cry like a baby. He is doing wah-wah and running to get out of the room. He completed his challenge, but he almost blacked out. He gets out of the place and tells them that he has done it, and if they don't believe it, they can go and check it. He is thinking that he will not go back there at any cost. Mira also found her phone and showed it to him. Zach asked her to go home now. Jace tells Vasco that they should go and check to see if Zach is speaking the truth. He sees Vasco, who is looking very frightened. While squeezing his doll, he asks Jace if they should go and check tomorrow instead of now. Jace agrees and tells Zach they will check tomorrow because they are leaving now. That day ended, and the next day started. They informed all other students that Zach had signed the child's mother's picture at night. The students decide to go and see his signature on the picture, so they all head towards the storage room. They know his signature is not on the mother's picture. Zach finds out that her eyes are closed when he sees the picture. He starts wondering how her eyes are closed and if the frame is hanging there. Mira sees the signature on the window instead of the picture. She thinks it is okay because, after all, he has signed. Zach realizes that what he saw was the window, not the picture. The students see him wetting his pants, and they all start wondering if he has passed out. They wonder if he has peed in his pants. Zach wonders if he saw things out of fear that night, or if it was her. He realizes that the crying sound of Hwa saved him if it was him. The worst thing for him is that he wet himself in front of Mira. Smart Daniel feels that someone is always watching him. He wonders if it is just in his mind or reality. He realizes that he does not feel the same way in his other fat body and wonders if he has gotten sick. He thinks that the child's mother has fallen in love with him. A man from the PTJ agency is looking at the pictures of Smart Daniel on the Facebook. In the first picture, the comments are 40,600 with 7,80,7,842. He clicks on the second picture of him, and the likes are 6,86,842 with 86,000 comments. He clicks on his next picture with 9,06,575 and comments of 7,20,659. After that, he sees pictures of Smart Daniel and Joy, the overfat fall coat, the couple of t-shirts, and his picture in the ripped jeans. After seeing him, he feels his photographs are excellent, so he decides to go and meet the guy. The next morning, he decides to go to school and gets out of his car. He gives a card to Smart Daniel for an audition and tells him that he wants to meet him. He doesn't usually contact people, and people feel very proud if he comes to them alone. He asks Smart Daniel if he is aware of his company and informs him about his company, which is PTJ. They are shocked to hear that PTJ offered him. They see that he got an offer from PTJ. Daniel gets nervous after knowing that PTJ offers him, which is the primary talent agency. He realizes that from top star DHG to even the trending beauty Aru, Smart Daniel refused to tell the agency he has a part-time job, so he can't model. He tells him that he will be allowed to do it because he is a model. Smart Daniel informs him that he has to leave early at night. He tells him that he can leave early if he keeps up with classes because even the teachers are the best. He has already heard that he has to pay the tuition fee back after some time. He informs him they don't collect money if someone doesn't debut. The students start thinking if he is requesting, even begging Smart Daniel to join him. He further informs him that even meals are given by the agency. Listening to his point, Daniel turns some kind of positive, because he realizes that it will reduce his living costs. He sees Duke, who is getting a little jealous of him. He thinks that he is awesome because he got offered by PTJ. He asks him if he can bring a friend to the audition because he is perfect. After listening, he sees the man frowning. He asks Daniel what he will do if he agrees to his condition. He asks him if he will come if he says yes. Daniel decides that he will surely go to him if he says yes. Duke wonders if, in reality, he is auditioning for PTJ, and they go to the studio of them. He sees cameras and computers all over, and the guy advises him not to be nervous and suggests they just relax. After seeing the studio, Daniel thinks it is smaller than he imagined, as he has seen the studios only on TV. He finds it ridiculous because the people before him do not greet them. He tells Duke that he is the first one who is going to give an audition. Duke comes into the center and reveals his full name, Duke Pyeon. Duke did rap, danced, and also sang personal songs. They appreciate him, though Daniel thinks he showed desperation. They call the next contestant to give the interview, Smart Daniel. He is standing confused because he just came from Duke and now is thinking about what he should do in the interview because he has not prepared anything. He greets them and tells them that he hasn't prepared anything. He starts singing the national anthem because, in actuality, he doesn't care if he gets selected or not. He is only hoping for the best results for Duke while singing. He feels a bit embarrassed, too. He also appreciates him and tells them they can come out. They bid them goodbye, and Smart Daniel appreciates Duke because he did well while outside. The girl asks him about where he found him because they think they must debut him as soon as possible. He glances at her and tells her he did not see him. He is also shocked. They ask DG for his thoughts, and the photographer and interviewer wait for DG outside the studio. As the door opens, they all get disappointed to see that it is not he for whom they are waiting. They start to wonder if he is a trainee as they have never seen him before, but he is handsome. The entrance stairs were full of girls. They started questioning him if he was a trainee. They conclude that Daniel is bright and attractive while the other one is fugly. One of them wonders if he is a manager of DG. Smart Daniel thinks that if the girls had waited the whole day to see the celebrity, suddenly, the actual celebrity would have appeared. The girls start taking pictures of him because he is just incredible. They started making noises, and some also said I love you to him. Some wonder if he came out to see them, and some cannot believe he is there in person. Apart from the foreign languages and camera flashes, he met him. DG stared at him for a second. It looked like he came to see Smart Daniel. At night, while Daniel's smart body is sleeping and awake in his fat body, he receives a call. As soon as he picks up the call, he learns he has passed the audition. They ask him to come to the office in the morning to chit-chat. Fat Daniel is surprised to learn because he just sang a national song in the audition. He tells them that he will talk it over with Duke, and they ask if he is talking about the same Duke, his friend. He agrees and tells them that he will talk to him in the morning about him going with Duke. They inform him that Duke didn't pass the audition. He is stunned to hear that he passed and Duke failed. They think that Duke is fortunate that he got a chance to do an audition with their company because it will be a great learning experience for him. They inform him that his friend cannot come. He is looking in the mirror while talking. He tells them that he will not come without Duke as he seems very angry, too. The next day at PTJ, Duke is pleased that he became a trainee in PTJ because it looks like a dream. He tells Daniel that he will work very hard there. He realizes they accepted Duke because of him. He won't be allowed to come to PTJ without his words. He decides not to tell Duke. In the dance studio, they have already heard about some newcomers. A notice is pasted on the wall, and the rules of PTJ training are mentioned. The first rule is that a student with bad manners or personality will be immediately kicked out of the PTJ. The second rule is that there are 0 talentless people, so he will also be kicked out if someone doesn't try. The third rule is that alcohol and cigarette use will also be removed. The fourth rule is that a person who is late more than 3 times will also be kicked out. The fifth rule is on dating. If someone dates, he will also be kicked out. The last but not least rule is rule number 6, which is that if there is no progress at evaluation, the person will also be kicked out. New class and C-class students are sitting together. A guy introduces himself. His name is Oliver. He tells them that he has been a trainee for the last 6 years. He is a Class C. His full name is Oliver Jang, and he is 23 years old. Further, he is a perpetual trainee. After Oliver, Laisol greets them and introduces herself. Her full name is Laisol. She is in her 3rd year and belongs to Class C. Moreover, she is 21 years old. Smart Daniel introduces himself and tells them his full name, Daniel Park, while Duke also informs them about his full name, Duke Pyeon. They both think Smart Daniel is very handsome, and they are totally negative. While looking at Duke, they think he must be a great singer. Someone opens the door. They say that it is the last newcomer in the class. Oliver waves his hand and tells her to come inside. Smart Daniel and Duke are a bit surprised to know that there is someone else to accept them. Smart Daniel is even more shocked to see that the girl is her. At the snack shop, Oliver finds it a coincidence that they both already know each other and questions Daniel how he knows her. Smart Daniel is shocked to learn that the last trainee is the girl with whom he modeled as a couple. She is Joy Hong, 16 years old and in 9th grade. Joy tells them that the agency noticed her in Daniel's pictures, and they contacted her. She said she agreed to the offer because she thought it would be fun, mainly because Daniel was there. They noticed that Joy didn't seem to be serious. They order something to eat because the office is paying for the food. Smart Daniel gets very happy and excited because it saves him money on food. It's almost a dream for him. He starts thinking about what to order. However, he is also not serious, just like Joy. He ordered the unique combo, including a roll, cutlet, dumpling, and a whole feast. He couldn't order it with his own money. He hears from the other C-class students that they can't order it because they are C-class and their allowance is only $4. He further explains to them that the classes at their office are ranked by talent, and the benefits depend on the class. The lunch allowance for Class A is $6, the lunch allowance for Class B is $5, and the only allowance for Class C is only $4. He concludes that the world is icy, so Oliver tells him they have to improve if he thinks it is unfair to them. Oliver and Lasol are eating a simple roll of ramen, and it seems like they are used to it. At some distance, other guys in the class are sitting. Class A and B split male and female. They notice that they have ordered the unique combo. Oliver tells them that those A-class guys have less experience and are younger than him. In actuality, those A-class guys are very close to making a debut. In addition, he further explains to them about PTJ, which is not like school because no one can make a debut if he comes daily. The life there is just to work hard. Smart Daniel realizes their lifestyle is much more complicated than he expected. Daniel is surprised that Class A almost ate nothing and just left. He sees their plates, full of crispy cutlets and special rolls. He stands up and brings those plates here because he thinks they have just wasted food. He happily picks up the plates and takes them before someone cleans the table. As he was going to pick up the plates, suddenly, the A-class students came there and asked him what he was trying to do. He tells them that he is trying to steal their food, while Smart Daniel is shocked to think they just went for a second and returned now. Oliver stands up and asks them if they are trying to say hello. He informs them that he is the new trainee at the agency. They greet Oliver and think it is excellent. Moreover, they believe that he has changed classes. They ask him if those guys are the newbies in their class, and they say hello to them. A red-hair boy asks Joy about her number and tells her that he is from Class A. The other students from the class ask them to give the food to them because they are on a diet. They feel sorry for Oliver and Lasol because they have been in the same class for years. He applauded the class of students and decided to fix his fault. Joy pays the bill and tells them that she has given the bill. She says she planned to treat them on the first day, and Daniel was packing the food for her so it wouldn't get tossed. Daniel starts thinking of the reason for lying. She asks the class of boys if there is something else that they want to eat. Lasol asks them for their phone because they have secretly kept it and can be kicked out of the agency. They stop eating and leave for the outside together because they want to smoke there. She warns them and asks if she should tell the boss about it. She holds Smart Daniel's arm and tells him to go with her. The class of boys stares at her. After some time, Oliver is standing at the bus station waiting for the bus. The bus comes to the station, and the bus driver tells him it is the last bus, so he should come in, otherwise he will leave. He goes inside the bus, which takes him to his destination. Oliver gets off the bus and sees the poster of Aru. While looking at her, who will debut soon, he wonders if he can do it too one day. He starts moving while eating the food he is holding in his hand. On the other hand, Smart Daniel walks through the street and realizes that the schedule is longer than that of school. He came to know by attending the first day of classes. He was told that he could skip the class at school. Further, he just has to go to school once a week. Zach asks Mira if she is not interested in seeing him, but she expresses her wish to come and see Daniel. At the same time, Jahong and Vasco are surprised that he is a celebrity now. He is happy that the agency has an allowance for food because he finds it challenging to pay the expenses of two bodies simultaneously. A boy sees Smart Daniel and asks his other fellows if he is the same new guy. They agree and inform him that he is the new guy, Smart Daniel. Daniel wonders who the man is who is smoking and calling him. Aru's manager orders him to go to him, but he is too slow. He tells him to move fast and wonders who he is. He taps his face and tells him they are just talking about him, and he hears that he is the new guy. Smart Daniel agrees, but thinks it doesn't look like he was expecting him to come there. While smoking, he tells him that he is considered to be cocky, and that he will be keeping an eye on him. Daniel wonders if the man works for the agency when suddenly he hears a voice. She asks him what he is doing there and further instructs him to go. The guy asks her if she has completed everything and tells her to get in the car. Smart Daniel sees she is Oru, who went to the skin clinic. She says that she should change the clinic because her skin has gotten so rough. She sees the boy standing and wonders who he is. She wonders if he is a newbie. Smart Daniel greets her and thinks that she looks the same as on television, or that, in reality, she looks thinner. She asks Smart Daniel if he is in Class A, but he refuses and tells her he is in Class C. She asks him who is in Class C, and he informs her that Oliver and Lassalle. She gets quiet and ignores him. She moves towards her car. Her manager opens the door for her and tells her that the manager asked her to eat dinner together. She feels annoyed by the manager and tells him to say to him that she is busy. Daniel comes to know that the guy is Eru's manager. The class boy gets furious and says she has changed and turned arrogant after getting famous. One of them says that she has changed and instructs smart Daniel not to mention Oliver and Lassalle next time. The red-headed boy informs him that they are on bad terms with Eru. He should not get close to him because they have been abandoned. Smart Daniel starts wondering what he is just saying to him. At the agency, there are 3 lessons. Dance, vocals, and free practice are the 3 lessons for tranquility at the agency. They spend most of their time in the dance studio. Class A uses the dance studio first. After Class A, Class B uses it, and the last one is Class C. They usually clean up after finishing practice for the next class. Oliver sees the class, which is all messed up. Lassalle thinks that they have intentionally destroyed the place. They decide to clean the place first. Daniel wonders why they both got on the wrong side of Eru. He knows that before the debut of Eru, they were all trainees and wonders if their relationship got sour after that. Lassalle and Oliver tell them that because they are all newbies and don't know anything about dance, they will teach them instead of a dance coach. Oliver starts dancing and asks them to follow his steps because classes A and B are adamant, so they can't follow them. Duke and smart Daniel start dancing after him. Oliver tells them they must spend 3 months learning the basics as this is their first time dancing. He thinks they are not entirely awful but have less to offer. All the trainees have to participate in the monthly evaluation. They see Joy, who is dancing behind Lassalle and is doing well. She tells them that she has learned to dance for fun. Duke shows them how they have to dance at night in the store because he is in C class. The C class goes at last, and they even have to clean up the mess, but it is excellent. Fat Daniel realizes Duke is pleased and feels glad. He didn't tell him that Duke got selected because of him. Jiho says that idols have no talents, they are just products. The real musicians are indie or underground, so there is no chance he can do it, and he also does not feel jealous of them. He asks Duke as he hears that he aims to become a rapper, and he informs him that at the agency, there is a class for it, too. If he wants to stay at the agency, he must be good at everything. Otherwise, he will be fired at the evaluation. They think it is brutal. Zoe smiles and thinks smart Daniel will look great while dancing. Duke tells her they are learning together, and she thinks she likes Daniel brighter than Daniel's fatter because he is handsome. Smart Daniel is also new at the agency, so they are worried about his evaluation. Suddenly, Fat Daniel comes up with a plan to practice it with Duke in his fat body. He stands up and goes to Duke, asking him if he is allowed to try with him. Duke agrees, and both start dancing. They realize that he is doing very well. Zoe thinks he looks cute, but suddenly, she smacks herself for remembering Daniel as bright. She tells Fat Daniel that it is all his fault, and he asks her what happened to her. Meanwhile, Crystal Smart comes there and sees them dancing. Smart Daniel shows his dance steps at the agency to Oliver and Lassalle some days later. Oliver starts wondering how he learned so fast in just 2 weeks, though it would take a month at least to work day and night. Lassalle compliments him because he was clueless at the very start, but now he has learned it so quickly. Joy is also impressed by him and concludes that he is a genius. Duke also realizes that he is natural. Though he is worried about him, he learns twice as fast as others. He concludes that smart Daniel is just amazing. After some days at the PTJ Entertainment Trainee Monthly Evaluation, the day of the monthly review arrived, and there were the girls of Class B and the boys of Class B. DG also comes there on the evaluation day to see them, though he usually doesn't come. The students start whispering after seeing him in front of them. Aru has also come to see them. She doesn't greet any of them and also brings her manager to the office. A student whispers and tells them that she is blabbering to DG. They were there last year in the same evaluation. The Class C boys and girls also came there. The students see Oliver and Lassalle and say Duke is a pig, but they wonder if the handsome guy is also a newbie. They think those two are because he questions whether he is unaware of Oru. The evaluation starts when PTJ Entertainment CEO Yang Minjang tells the next student to come and perform. There are a lot of new trainees. The first is Daniel Park. When he goes to perform, the girls start staring at him. The girls from class A wonder who the handsome, cute guy is, and the class of boys think that he is just a noob and got a pretty face by luck only. Mr. Jang stares at him and looks forward to him. He instructs him to do his routine. The class of boys presented their group dance just before the PTJ Entertainment Trainee Monthly Evaluation. The girls of class A also presented their group dance, and Smart Daniel realized they were perfect. He wonders why Lassol and Oliver still look better in dancing. The class of students recognize that they are both excellent. Smart Daniel heard that both of them were the leaders of Class A, and he was surprised to listen to it. While holding a marking sheet, Aru says they are not unique. He wonders what has happened to them because he thinks something is wrong. Joy starts dancing. Seeing her, the department head realizes she is fresh, while the marketing head concludes that she is good, though she is young too. Duke comes next and starts singing. After listening to him rap, they think it's not bad, but they are not a charity organization. They all start laughing at seeing him dance and wonder who chose him. Mr. Jang, the CEO, sees a lot of mode trainees and asks the next one to come. He looks forward to Smart Daniel and says he should do the routine. After seeing Smart Daniel, the girls wonder how he can be this cute. When he realizes the next turn is his, Daniel starts shaking because of nervousness. He comes forward and greets them, tells them his name, and the judge asks him if he has been practicing for a month. He agrees, and as the music gets louder, he starts dancing. While dancing, he thinks Duke looks excellent, but they like him very much, so maybe they also don't like him. The two of them, Duke and Smart Daniel, practice their best, and the jury was very impressed by his moves. They confirm with him if it is true that he has only learned the dance moves for a month, not for 3 months. He agrees. They compliment him and appreciate that he has nice moves. He starts thinking Duke's rap was great, but why didn't they compliment him? Mr. Hyokon, the acting manager, gives him a script and instructs him to read it. The students start whispering that Mr. On didn't say anything to anyone. The students of him are the top stars. One of the students tells them that he wants to learn acting, but he rejects him and explains that his head is too big. Smart Daniel holds the script, though he has not learned acting. Mr. On tells him just to read it. The red-headed boy thinks it is naughty for the teacher to give him the script. The other boy from class A wonders why he gave him the script. He tells them he also got the script some time ago but failed to do it. The script is about the outcast in which the lead in the scenario is bullied terribly. The redhead boy realizes that if someone has to do this, he has to relate to the character, but there is no chance they could have experienced that. The script he is holding is impossible to relate to. When they see Smart Daniel on the camera, they see he looks good on screen. His face seems like the face of the lead, Mr. On, standing to see Smart Daniel's talents as an actor. It is his first performance. He has no prior experience and is a trial. Smart Daniel reads the script, in which the lead character lives in terrible poverty with his mother. He has no dreams or hopes for his future. He is forced to imitate an animal at school. He bursts on his mom because of his anger. One day, he gets angry at his mom again for putting eggs in ramen. After reading the script, Smart Daniel starts crying. Mr. On is shocked to see him crying and wonders if he can relate to the script. He asks him why he is crying, and Smart Daniel apologizes and tells them he is crying because the story is too sad. He decides to start acting, and he bends down on the floor. The red-headed boy thinks he is doing rubbish because he did the same. The other boy from class says to look at him carefully as he is bending down his head. He says he is being stepped on under a heavy weight. He also sees the other person stepping on his head. They see his hand. They start wondering what he is doing with his hands because he is Clarington, his fingers. The marketing head says that she knows the reason, which is because the flood is dirty. They can see the bathroom as he is bending down in the bathroom. Mr. On sees the detail and the subtle and tells Mr. Jang to get gutted because he is a genius. The girls think he is cute and something extra, while the class a boy gets Angleton his selection. Jang decides to debut him now to get him into acting right away. The marketing head agrees because, in this way, Smart Daniel won't need to dance at the back of a group. However, Mr. believes that actual money is only in acting. She notices that he is picking up dancing so quickly and asks if the teachers are Lassol and Oliver. Knowing that they both taught him, Aru concludes that they should remain the teachers of Class C. Mr. Jang tries to say something, but then he agrees with her. Smart Daniel realizes that Mr. Jang goes with whatever she says. They think about what has happened to them again. At night, a boy and a girl are sitting in a room. Oliver heard them saying they were both dating secretly and could be kicked out of the agency. They were both students in Class B, and he told them they should turn off the lights because they wouldn't be caught. He tells them they are not the only ones who pretend to stay late for practice. He knows it because he has also done the same. He instructs them to go to the dorms because, this time, they were lucky enough, as Oliver was the one who caught them. They thank him and slam the door to get him out of the room. After they go outside, Oliver sees the piano. It is written inside, "Oliver loves Aru." After looking at it, he thinks about how they ended up like that. He remembers the time when they used to be so happy together. Aru tells Oliver that she likes him. He has helped that girl a lot of times, but he has no time to date. He refuses and tells her to be accurate because they must debut. At the stew shop, he sits with a manager. He asks him if he will work in government. He tells him that he is going to grad school. They see Oliver after a long time and ask him if he is still a trainee because it has been 4 years. They see DG from the PTJ agency. Though he started late, he is on television. They ask him when he will be on television because they have heard that PTJ is enormous, so they wonder when he will be on television. They ask him if it is easy to be an idol, and he goes to Aru, who is sitting on a bench. She blushes, and he asks if she is heading to the dorm because he practiced late. They see the addition of DG, who is blowing up. She has never seen him before. He tells her that he debuted before she arrived at the agency. He sat with her on the same bench and told her about his low-income family. His dad is expecting so much from him. It is already his 4th year as a trainee at the agency. Because he is not very hot, he is just stuck there. So he tells her that dating is the last thing he wants for now. She also tells him she wants to be successful because her family is struggling, and she is the oldest. She bit the bullet to make it, but it was very difficult for her. So they both decide to depend on each other because, in this way, they can be intense. He started to care for Aru. Lasol stands up on the weight machine in the girls' Class A. She passed because he lost 4 pounds in a month, and her current weight is 98 pounds. The other girl had not eaten since the last day, and still, she barely passed. While one girl is starving, the next turn is Eru, who stands on the weight machine. Her weight is 99 pounds, and she just failed. The students start whispering that she would be kicked out of the agency because of her overweight. Though she has been fasting for the past 3 days, her weight is still over. The teacher instructs her to pack her bag because she will be sent home because of weight violations. Suddenly, they see her removing her clothes and even removing her undergarments. She requests that they weigh her again. This time, her weight is 98.9 pounds, and she passes. Lysol goes to Oliver and tells him to check on Eru because she is crying all alone in a room. Oliver goes to her, who is sobbing so severely because she thinks it is tough for her, and she wants to go home. From that day on, Oliver planned to take care of Aru, and they started dating each other. Oliver is playing the piano, and Aru sits in the corner, where the camera can't catch her. He tells her to keep quiet because it is a must-know for trainees and their little secret. She became his everything, and they started taking help from Lasol to keep their relationship a secret. Aru tells Lasol that she is her best friend because Lasol always does her best for both of them. Oliver asks Lasol what she wants from him because it is her birthday soon. They were living the trainee life with no guarantees and never enough money. They thought their future was gloomy, but they were happy. They kissed each other because of the certainty of their everlasting love, but he wasn't aware that it would end soon. She gives him a contract and tells him to sign it. He holds it and sees it is a wedding contract. He read it, and it was written in it that he has to promise to marry her if they can't debut before the end of their trainee contract. He thinks it is childish of her. She tells him he might dump her, so they can't just debut, but they will marry. He smiles and tells her not to say they can't debut because he can't, and his life will be ruined. He still has 4 years left on his trainee contract. She asks him if she heard that his 4 years have passed, and he informs her that he has renewed his contract. He is worried about his debt from the dorm and the class fees, so he has to make a debut. Though he said it was childish of her, he signed it and felt relieved. 6 trainees were supposed to live in a small bedroom apartment. The red-headed is playing his guitar. He tells his friends to film him because he looks nice and sends it to girls. They sent the video to multiple girls, wishing that any one of them would reply to them. His friend also sees Heejin, to whom he sent the video, and tells him she is his. He immediately apologized and told her he was his friend and had just sent his video to her so she could give him marks. Trainees were not allowed to use mobile phones in the agency, but some handsome young guys depended on Wi-Fi and an old flip phone to flirt with the girls. The redhead boy regrets that he should have gone on a solo interview instead of contracting at PTJ because he would have succeeded by now. His friend told him that one of the girls replied to the video they sent her. Oliver also used the same method to contact Eru. He got a notification that Eru had sent her pic to him. She sent him a private pic of her for his eyes only. He was startled to see her and zoomed in on her picture. He realized that he could have given everything up on her. The agency called a meeting to inform them that they had a chance for one of them to debut. A representative from the investor greets them, who is an old friend of Mr. Jang. He is the investor from the Abo investment firm Rep, and his name is Jin Park. He informs them that he plans to invest $1 million into a girls' group and asks if anyone is good in them. The student starts whispering after seeing the tattoos on his arm. They think he is a gangster, while some see the Bolex and a Lamborghini car key beside him. He tells them that their boss is close to a gangster. Oliver realizes he has no chance of being debuted in a girls' group, but maybe Aru will get an opportunity to debut. Mr. Jin further informs them that he will be putting a bunch of money into that person. He will also give his one guy as their manager. Mr. Jin orders his guy to introduce himself. He bows down and assures them he will perform his best. Mr. Jang says it would be better and more accessible for them if someone from them managed. He thinks the guy is undoubtedly a gangster and very disrespectful. Mr. Jang suggests the names of 3 girls, Lei Sol, Yunda, and Suk because he thinks they all have looks and talent. Mr. Jin asks him if he will be allowed to meet all of them in person sometime later, and Mr. Jang will enable him to do so. However, Aru is left crying and tells Oliver that she didn't make it, and that it would take her several years if she missed the chance. Lei Sol made it, but she failed. Oliver was also sorrowful, not because he didn't make it, but because of Aru, as there was nothing he could do for his girl. He hugged him, messaged her if she was busy, and told her he was going to the dorm to practice. She replied to him once that she was sick and couldn't come. He texted her what was wrong with her because she was not answering and did not even attempt to call him. He stopped hearing anything from Eru, but waited for her because he was worried. He sees Aru kissing a guy, but he doesn't understand what is going on. He wonders if it is assault or if he has forced her to kiss him. He immediately ran towards the inside to save Aru, but the gangster underling stopped him. He asks him what the problem is, why he is running further, and also about the person who sent him. He tells the gangster that Aru is in danger, and he starts smacking him. After some time, the guard tells his boss that he feels sorry. He smacks him because he thinks he is a gangster, but he is Aru's friend. The guard slaps him until he wakes up. Mr. Jin apologized because his guard had confused him for a customer and told him he had heard that he was into Eru. He suggests he stay away from her because he is her only boyfriend. He couldn't understand what Mr. Jin was saying. He was so worried for her, but when he saw her expression, he was confused. He refuses to believe him and wonders if the older man is blackmailing Aru. Mr. Jin asks if he doesn't trust him by looking at his age because he is pretty old. He shows him a private picture of himself so that he can believe he is not lying. He suggests that he go home, rest, and imagine what has happened to him. He further threats him that if he bothers Aru, he will screw him up. Aru was featured in the Musicart album as the PTJ's next beauty. She blew up after debuting with her innocent image. In the PTJ agency, the news spread that Aru got sponsored and debuted. The other student suggested watching his mouth before speaking about Aru because the prominent investor is a gangster, and he fell for Aru. Because he fell for Aru, he is a toy of hers, so the boss gives in to Aru. The question about Oliver, who Aru cheats. However, he taught Aru everything that she knows now. She talks rubbish about him everywhere and tells the boss to demote him because she would be awkward if he debuted. She is cruel, and as far as Lei Sol, she gets spurned. They wonder if they weren't close friends and if Aru should apologize because the girl group got cancelled. At night, Oliver is sitting alone. He burns the marriage contract between him and Aru and starts crying while seeing it become ashes. Sometime later, he sees Aru with Mr. Jin. Mr. Jang asks for a profile picture of Smart Daniel because the boss likes him. The boss orders him to take a profile picture, and he should consider himself lucky because it is challenging for everyone. He suddenly has to take a profile picture and starts thinking about whether to go to the salon at 5 in the morning. But he is still determining if salons in Cheongdam are making reservations now. Suddenly, he sees class of students as he makes eye contact with them. But he knows they hate him, so he tries to avoid them. Redhead boy congratulated him on his profile picture as he had heard about it. He is surprised that both class of students are friendly and pleasant to him. The head boy tells him to give him a copy. The other class students also say the same. In addition to that, he appreciates him because he performed very well on the evaluation day and feels sorry because he sometimes misjudged him. He thought Daniel was brilliant and rude and depended on his looks. But he was talented because they look at talents, not looks. The marketing head comes and tells him he can talk to her. If he has any questions or queries, Suk and her other friend come to see Smart Daniel and ask him about his acting classes. They both appreciate him because he is a natural talent. He tells them that his classes are going on and feels like he is accepted. Though he has been accepted for his hard work, which paid off in spades, he feels very proud. At 4:30 in the morning, Aru is getting her makeup and hairstyle done by the makeup artist and the hairstylist. She asks why the music heart continuously records in the middle of the night and wonders how she can sleep for only 2 hours and then work the following day. The makeup artist agrees, and while doing her makeup, she instructs her to look up to pat the powder under her eye. She abuses her in her heart because of her. They also need to wake up at 4 in the morning. Her manager brought her sushi because she wanted to eat it, and because of that, he did not sleep the whole night. Aru tells him to sleep in the car until she films because it is a manager's job. She takes out her phone and starts managing the boys because she is a celebrity with many connections. She got a message from actor Yehan Kim, who had sent her his naked picture. She concludes that he always gets gentlemanly roles in the drama but is trash. He messaged her that he was thinking about her and he would surely come to her if he weren't filming her. She also sent him a private picture of her and told him she had gained weight. She thinks that picture will help him. She sent that same picture to everyone because she thought the actors and singers were all her. Though she is not a simple person, Mr. Jin gives her a surprise visit. She is shocked to see him visiting her early in the morning. He appreciates the makeup girls and requests them to leave and let them alone for a while. She turns her face towards him and pretends to be happy because he came to see her at this hour. She feels some alcohol smell and thinks that he has come from the club. She hides her phone under her hands. Mr. Jin realizes she is hiding her phone from him. He calls the manager and punches him because he believes he is not doing his job correctly. The manager apologizes to him while blood is dripping from his nose by getting smacked. He strictly instructs that whatever Aru is doing, he must stay on top of it if she feels uncomfortable. He once again apologizes to him, and Aru gets angry and starts abusing him in her heart. She thinks he has lost again. Aru holds and asks what is wrong with him. She holds his arm and tells him to let go outside. Mr. Jin tells her that he loves her so much she knows she is already aware of his love. She warns him that he will not do that work. If he remains like this, he requests her not to say that because she has already told him she will do that work and will consider it positively. She gets afraid of seeing him violent like that. She thinks that he is a fool. He apologizes, and she tells him not to see her phone. He agrees to both her conditions. On the other hand, she concludes that he is a stupid pushover when Smart Daniel comes out of the room. They are all surprised to see Smart Daniel because they are never as perfect as him. They met many people at PTJ but were still waiting for someone to come like him. After finishing his makeup and hair, he becomes glorious. Joy asks him for a selfie because he looks fantastic. She arrived early with the members of Class C to the shop to take a picture. Smart Daniel thinks the reason Duke is taking the picture next time wonders if the reason is that he got a lousy score in his evaluation. Oliver tells him to go and rest on the second floor because the girls will take some time. He sees Aru, who steps down with Mr. Jin. She stops and stares at Oliver for a while. Mr. Jin asks her if everything is fine, and she tells him that she is fine and they should continue moving. Daniel thinks it's such a brutal atmosphere. Suddenly, their manager smacked him on the face because he didn't greet him. They all ask him if he is okay. The manager says he is insulting, though he already told him he has his eyes on him. Smart Daniel kindly bends down and apologizes to him because he forgot to greet her. He accepts his fault. He bows in front of a 90-degree, and the manager after him beats Oliver. He asks him if he has become arrogant over his long training. Oru from her car orders him to come and sit inside the car because she is getting late for her appointment. The manager looks angry today. After some time, Smart Daniel receives a call from Duke. He asks Smart Daniel if he is still in the hair shop, and he agrees and feels sorry for him. He asks for the keys to the studio from him because he can't find any keys there. He asks why he is asking for the keys and informs him that he came early to do some practice.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more.